What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. Today's video is going to be about two trades that I took this past week. Since it's the weekend, there's nothing going on, the market's closed. I figured why not sit down, look at the trades that I took this week, and maybe talk about them. Before we jump into the video, there will be a link in the description which will take you guys to Binance.com, which is one of the world's biggest crypto exchange. And so if you use my link to sign up on Binance.com, you'll get a 20% discount every time you have to pay a transaction fee. There will also be a link to my other YouTube channel where I upload gaming videos sometimes. There will also be a link to my Twitch channel where I go live almost every single day, and there will also be a link to my Telegram where I share my trade ideas if I have any, and where we discuss trade ideas with other members as well. So all my socials will be in the description and in the first comment below. Anyways, let's take a look at the first trade that I took. And this happened when the market was not doing anything. I mean the forex market, right? So I went to Binance.com and I took a sell on Bitcoin. And so I also shared this little scalp in my Telegram group, and I said if I remember correctly, I said that I was looking at Bitcoin, and scalping Bitcoin is really fun because of the volume and volatility that it has. It was literally my first time looking at Bitcoin and looking for a trade on Bitcoin. And as I was back testing the smart money concepts on Bitcoin, because that's what I do sometimes, when the market is not doing anything, I sit down, look at the past charts, and that's what I do. Back test, study, look at where things went wrong, where things went right, all that stuff, right? So I was looking at Bitcoin, and literally as I was looking, this trade setup happened. So initially I was on the 5-minute time frame, right? I was on the 5-minute time frame. Let me go back. Bitcoin was in an uptrend. Okay, Bitcoin was in an uptrend. Let me show you guys. You guys can see higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And when I was looking at Bitcoin, I think it was over here, somewhere over here, right? And I was looking, and then I saw this happen right here. This happened right here. I saw this, and I was like, you know what? This looks interesting. And then from the 5-minute time frame, I dropped down to the 1-minute time frame. I took this trade on the 1-minute time frame, by the way. Let me go back. Okay. So as I was looking over here at the 1-minute time frame, I noticed. And by the way, my entry and exit were sent in the Telegram group as well, if somebody doesn't believe me that I took this trade. So when I was looking over here, the first thing that I noticed, so there's a couple of things that went into this trade, okay, not just smart money concepts. Although market structure was one of the main reasons why I took this trade, but the very first thing that I realized was that the market was creating these equal highs, but in an uptrend. Okay, not equal highs, sorry, my bad. Higher highs, but in an uptrend. When the market starts doing this, and this happens on the 1-hour time frame as well. When the market starts doing this, it starts creating higher highs, but they are very close to each other. Very, very close, like this. Okay, so this is the retail idea of a trend line. So whenever this happens, right? Whenever the market starts creating higher highs like this, the market gets very close to each other. It becomes very, very compact, very close to each other. That's when I know that a spike to the upside is coming, okay? And that is exactly what happened here. And this is a liquidity grab. So the market is always not going to be equal highs and then a spike up and then a drop down, which retail calls double top or a triple top. Okay, so this gives you a very, very clear idea that the market was always not going to be, picture perfect. No, it does liquidity grabs in different ways, and I'll make a separate video about that, on how to spot liquidity grabs. And this is one of the ways the market does its thing. The market manipulation works. And so this was very, very clear to me. Why is this a liquidity grab? So the very first thing that happened after that liquidity grab, you guys can see, is this huge engulfing bearish candle. So this is price action. First of all, there's liquidity grab, and then there's price action. So when you look at price action, right, you see that this whole thing, this whole 1-minute candle is a bearish engulfing candle. It engulfs all the previous bullish bearish price action. This is actually an order block. You guys can see the orders were being accumulated in here, and then boom, and then bop. Okay, bada boom, bada bing. And that's it. So once I saw this engulfing price action, I was like, okay, this further gives me confidence that this might be a sell. Okay, a sell might be coming up shortly. And so when I was looking at this, I didn't enter the trade right away. Okay, so I was waiting. The market did its thing, and then came this. You guys can see further came more break in market structure. More lows were broken. Okay, more lows were broken. And so now I was looking at this order block for an entry. Okay, over here, right over here, this order block. So we fast forward, and boom, right there we got triggered. And also, look, guys, even so, I was lucky that I was looking at this price action as it was playing, as it was unfolding. Okay, because as you know, the further it goes, the more confusing it will get. People will start marking this order block right here. People will start marking this one. You know, people will think this is the one. But if you look at it, if you pay attention, this was the order block that broke further market structure. Okay, more break in market structure came after this order block. So if you think about it, the previous well-known lows were broken. Okay, well, not, yeah, this one as well. All these the major lows were broken right after this order block. So I will look at this order block for an entry to the downside. And you can see, we got triggered over here. Okay, we got triggered here, and that's it. And now we wait. Initially, my target was, let me see, over here somewhere. Okay, so we fast forward, we got triggered, and it went way down, way lower than this. I think somewhere over here where the previous liquidity grab happened. Let me see. Started coming up. Okay, so boom, right there. It came all the way over here where, you know, the market reversed from the last time, grabbed all the previous equal lows, grabbed this liquidity. You guys can see this wick right here, and then it reversed, right? And so that was a very good reward to risk ratio. I think about 1 to 6, but I didn't go all the way lower since I was scalping. On the 1 minute time frame, I think I exited somewhere over here. Don't quote me on that. But my entry and my exit were sent in the Telegram group, so you guys can go ahead and check it out if you don't believe me. If you do believe me, then all is good, and we move on to the next trade. Okay, so this trade, what a beautiful trade this was. What a beautiful, beautiful trade, right? And you know what? Some doubters will still be in the comments. So let me go ahead and show you guys before all of this happened. Okay, so right here, this picture was taken on the date. You can see August 18th. I had just got triggered into this trade, and so I was looking at at USD CAD for a buy for a 5 minute time on a 5 minute time frame, right? You guys can see. Actually, okay, right here. So this was, I think, over here, somewhere over here. Replay, my friend, right? Something like this. Okay, so yeah, I had just got triggered into the trade. This is much better, actually. Just got triggered into the trade, and let me explain why I was looking at this trade. So same idea. I mark my supply zones, my demand zones, right? And so why did I mark this demand zone? Well, as you guys can see, after this swing low, if you want to call it, okay, which it is, by the way. After this swing low came a major break in market structure. We broke all the previous highs. And so we were in an uptrend, and that is why I took this trade, by the way. Let me show you on the 1 hour time frame as well. So you guys can see that the market was in an uptrend, okay? Since 11th of August, we started reversing. You guys can see the rally, the impulsive move, the buying, the sheer bullish pressure that came after this move. And so we were continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. And so after I was looking at over here, why? Because on the 1 hour time frame, I noticed something. I noticed that after this buying pressure, we created an order block. And since the market created new market structure, broke all the previous higher highs, right? And so if the market was about to continue higher, which it was, doing at the time, was continuing higher. So it was going to respect this order block. And so that is exactly what happened. The market came over here, you guys can see, into this order block, right? The market came into this order block right here and respected that. And not only that, it continued going higher. It created even higher market structure. And so I was, this was a very good confirmation for me that the market was going to respect the uptrend and it was going to go higher. And since this was a scalp as well, this was a really good trade, by the way. And so this was on the 1 hour time frame. So whenever there's a wick like this, I've always said this, whenever there's a wick like this, it creates some sort of an imbalance. And so market has to fill this wick. If there's a huge wick like this, market has to fill it out. Not only that, this becomes an order block on the smaller time frame. There's an order block over here. And so that order block will be tested again. And then the market has to mitigate from that order block and continue higher, right? So that is exactly what I had in mind. I was looking at this wick to get filled. I dropped down to the 5-minute time frame. I analyzed this on the 5-minute time frame. And so as you guys can see, there is an order block right here. This last bearish candle and then the bullish candle, engulfing bullish candle right next to it. Okay. So this is a very solid order block. And so since after this order block came the new break in market structure and new formation of new market structure, this was a very good point of reversal for me to trade. And so whenever there's a wick like this, there's an order block like this where there's a candle engulfed with an there's a bearish candle engulfed by a bullish candle, or a bullish candle engulfed with a bearish candle. So I take into and it's a huge candle, relatively huge. So I take the midpoint of that, okay? And so even in this picture, you guys can see I had marked the mid of that because I know if it's a huge candle, the market is going to probably mitigate from the half or the 50% of that order block. And so fast forward, we get triggered. By the way, can you guys see how much drawdown this is? Let me show you guys. Can you guys see that? It's almost 0.01 pip. Okay, or 0.1 pip. And so we get triggered and boom, just like that, about 50-60 pips actually. And so I mean, it continued higher because we are still in an uptrend on USD CAD, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we just made another high. And so that's it, guys. I mean, this was smart money concepts, right? Supply demand zone. And also on the Bitcoin trade that I showed you guys earlier, there was also another confirmation, and it was divergence. Now, I don't really trade divergence on the 1-minute time frame because it's not really that trustworthy. Anything on the smaller time frame, anything but the entries on the smaller time frame is very risky, okay? And so there was also a divergence over here. That was another confluence, another confirmation I forgot to mention. So we had price action, we had break in market structure, that is smart money concepts. We had supply and demand order block, whatever you want to call it. This is a supply zone, if you want to call it that. And this is an order block, if you want to use smart money concept terms or words. And then we have break in market structure. We also have price action. So a couple of things, okay? So 2 trades that went really well, and they were very precise, very accurate, almost no drawdown on both of these trades. And so that's it. Simple, clean and simple. Okay. You just have to monitor the price action. Even if you don't trade divergence, price action, smart money concepts, just supply and demand and market structure. Even then you could have taken both these trades. It's very simple. And so I hope you learned something from this video, and that's it. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.